Hi guys and welcome back to Arsenal Army. So I'm here after the 2-2 draw with Bayern Munich. I'm going to give my thoughts on the game, give my player ratings and talk about the controversy that happened right at the end of the game. Now, before I get onto the penalty incident, I will admit we weren't at our best today. I don't believe we deserved to even win the game, to be honest with you. But this was a penalty to me. As much as you believe it's a Arsenal biased reaction here, speaking to a few of my mates and listening to Rio Ferdinand's post-match comments saying he had his hands in his head in disbelief that it wasn't given. You could even see by Saka's reaction here, he didn't even get an explanation to it. The ref just walked off the pitch. It did annoy me. You can hear by my voice, but yeah, that's what I have to say about the fact the ref gets a 0 from me if okay given a ref rating. We'll start at the back. These three were quite disappointing to me. Normally are solid players, Saliba and Gabriel, but I believe Raya could have done better for the first goal. I mean, he didn't have to come out all that way. Could have gave Gabriel an option to pass back. Obviously, didn't communicate with him well. So yeah, he gets a 4. Saliba, one of his poorest games I've seen. I would admit in Europe he doesn't look great. Like in the league, he's one of the best players in the league, one of the best centre backs in the league. But in Europe, he just seems to look nervous. Never has really control of the game like he does in the league. So 4 again. And Gabriel, I'll put half the blame on him for the first goal. Didn't need to look for that pass out. Could have kicked the ball off the pitch if he needed to, but wasn't helped by Raya at all. Didn't give him a plan B. So he'll get a 5. He did deal with Kane a little bit better than Saliba did. I feel like Saliba got a bit bullied by Kane. But yeah, 5. With the fullbacks, I'll start with Kiwior. Didn't have a great game at all. I wanted him to start, so I can't blame Arteta for that. Thought he would have made more of an impact than Zinchenko in this game for the defensive factor, but he wasn't good defensively. Got spun by his winger multiple times, and attackingly did nothing. So 4. Ben White, the better out of the two. Attackingly done okay. I mean, he missed that one-on-one chance with Neuer. Could have made it 2-0, would have changed the game completely, but I can't blame him too much for that being a right back. Defensively, he made that world-class tackle. The Bayern Munich could have scored another one, but I don't know how he wraps his leg around for that slide tackle, but he done it, so I'll give him a 6, the better out of the two. In midfield, we'll start with Jorginho. He gets a 5 from me. Normally dictates the play in the midfield, controls the speed of it. Did none of that today. It even looked a bit too slow to be on the pitch. All he contributed was side pass after side pass. Didn't do much at all, so a 5. Declan Rice, probably one of the worst games he's had in an Arsenal shirt to me. Something about Europe, he's a bit too aggressive for the referee's liking, I believe, as well. That's my thought on it. Could be wrong, could be right. Didn't have a great game. Was more defensive, I would say. Bayern Munich controlled the ball a lot better than most Premier League teams do, so he was pinned down into defence, couldn't show his attacking side to his game. And lastly, Odegaard, he runs so much on that pitch. I mean, like I've said before, a captain's performance again. He doesn't stop, his heart's in the game, but didn't show his creativity too much this game, which is a big factor in his game. So yeah, he gets a 6. We'll start with Martinelli for the forwards. We've been crying out to see him, I believe most of us. He hasn't started the past few games. He didn't get much of the ball at all, to be fair to him. He did work hard. Most of the play went down Saka's side on the right. I would have liked to see Martinelli give Kimmich a harder game, as we know Kimmich is a world-class player, but he's not a world-class right back to me. So he didn't do much. Up front, Havertz, De Ligt dealt with him well. Physically, didn't really win anything aerially. His link-up play weren't great. I will say he got a bit more joy on the wings. It built up play from that aspect of his game. So he's rated 6 for me, a bit higher than Martinelli. And lastly, Saka, probably the man of the match if we were to have one. But I would give it to one of Bayern Munich's midfielders. They controlled the game very well. But for Arsenal, probably our man of the match. Looked like he was back to his best in this game. Opened the scoring. Should have had a penalty, as I mentioned at the beginning. Could have changed the whole aspect of the game going to Bayern Munich Stadium in Germany. But it is what it is. He gets a 7. To me, the best player on the pitch for Arsenal. So on to the bench players that had enough time to impact the game. We'll start with Zinchenko. He gets a 6 from me. He was okay. Attackingly, he linked the midfield to the attack a lot better than Kiwior did, something that I believe Kiwior needs to improve in his game. Defensively, he still made his mistakes, as he always does. You come to expect it in his game now, but again, he did okay. Jesus gets a 7 from me, created the second goal. He was the reason that second goal even occurred. His close control is world class, I will admit. It's a bit of a weird thing to say before the game, though, that he can't remember the last time that he's played without feeling a pain in his leg, but he doesn't show it when he plays. It's a weird statement. He does track back well, and again, he made that goal, so 7. Trossard made it 2-2. I will say one of the best signings we've made for the price. Every time he's in front of goal, he finishes it. One of the best finishers, I'll say, in the squad right now. And yeah, so we have Aston Villa next. Hopefully this doesn't dampen our mood or it affects our confidence going into that. But I'll see you in the next one, and I hope you enjoyed.